Hi guys, welcome back to the channel with me, Beth Grylls. Welcome back for part 2 of the kiln making video. Where today we're going to be putting that kiln to the test and seeing if we can fire some pots. So, in order to actually fire some pots, we first need to make some pottery. So I've got myself a small ball of clay here and some tools and materials we're going to use today just to make some little test pieces for the kiln, just to see if it works. So let's get straight on with it and see how it goes. Okay, so I've got my soggy ball of clay here. Right, and what I'm just going to start by doing is just wedging it, just to beat the air out of my clay, because we don't want any air gaps in the kiln that are going to explode and ruin the firing process. My board is getting extremely wet, and so is the clay, so what I'm going to have to do is quickly put the umbrella up. Right, there we go, so hopefully that will give us a little bit of shielding from the rain, and hopefully you can still see what I've got here on my board as we're going to just go on to make a test piece. Okay, so this is what I made earlier. It's just a little sort of pot, lid, whatever. It's just a nice little shape that I thought looked quite cute that I just made. But I'm just going to make another piece to make it really worthwhile. So smack the hell out of that. Right, I'm going to roll it into a ball, just because I quite like starting from a ball. So I'm just going to sort of make this into a leaf shape. There's plenty of leaves on the table as it is autumn at the moment. So I've got some lovely inspiration in front of me. So I'm just going to sort of model that. So there we go, you can see we've got a little sort of leaf shape, and I've indented the middle just to make it sort of like a dish that you can just pop things in. I'm going to get a leaf actually, dry it off, and possibly see if we can use the imprint of the veins, because that would be really lovely to get that pattern onto the dish. So if I just pop that on there and just really rub it in. So I think I'll leave that one like that, because I'm really intrigued to see how that will fare. So I'll pop that there in my little pile. Another thing I might do is, gosh, I don't know, just having a look around now for inspiration. Maybe we'll just make a little pinch pot. Okay, so that's my 3 little test pieces done. We've obviously got the sort of leaf shape sort of bowl, dish sort of thing. This very sort of garden inspired pinch pot, and a very simple but really cute looking little shape that I just really liked. Okay, so that is our test pieces made and ready to go into the kiln. They've been in the oven for 2 or 3 hours on a very low temperature, gas mark 1, just drying out, because you want them absolutely bone dry when they go into the kiln, otherwise they're going to explode and it's all going to go wrong. So we've got those nice and dry. So the next thing to do is get the kiln fired up and get the clay in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with some bits of kindling, some paper, and then some lumps of wood in the bottom chamber. Get the whole kiln heated up so that the bricks are holding and maintaining the heat. And then as soon as they start to radiate the heat, we're going to put the clay in the top chamber and shut this door and see how it goes. I just got wood in my eye. Oh, fuck. Okay. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to light that up now. It's full of some nice bits of wood. And then we'll get some larger lumps and make a roaring fire. Right, I think what I'm going to do now is I've got it lit and actually a flame. I'm going to go and get the clay and I'm going to put it on the shelf so I can shut the door and keep the heat in to start warming the kiln up, because otherwise the heat's just all going to come out. So I'll go and get the clay and we'll go from there. Okay, so on the tray here I've got the 3 test pieces we made earlier. So this little thing, sort of leafy shaped dish, the leaf dissolved in the oven, so that's gone, and a little pot. I've also got a little thing here which is just a little head I made just for a bit of fun. So I'm going to chuck all that on the shelf. Now because it's all so small I might need to put a stone or a tile in there just for it all to sit on. But so that it will still get the flames around it. So I'm just going to look around now and just see if I can find anything to put the clay on. Right, so in the clay goes. Okay, so now the kiln is starting to heat up on the outside, and as I'm feeling the bricks, they're getting hotter and hotter to touch. At the point where they're too hot to touch is the point we're trying to get to, because that will mean the clay inside is at a constant temperature and it's going to be properly fired right the way through. I'll leave the clay in there for a few hours, possibly 3 to 4 hours, and then we'll come back afterwards and review how it's gone and see if we've got a lovely fired piece of clay as a result. Now that everything is nice and cool to touch, we're going to see what the clay is looking like inside and see if we've got a successful result. So let's have a look inside the kiln and see what we've got. There we go. Marvellous. Okay, so here are our test pieces. It's still actually really nice and warm in there. I can actually feel the heat still rising. Okay, so as you can see here, we've got the test pieces out of the kiln and they're actually looking really well done, really well fired. If I pick at this, you can see it's gone. On the inside, you can see it's a bit lighter grey, where perhaps it hasn't fired as much, but that is because it's been on a stone, so that would have stopped the heat getting to that centre bit. But it is actually solid, so hopefully that is actually fired. But as you can see, it's got a lot darker from the original colour that it was when we put it in. So they're looking really nicely fired and they're absolutely solid, and we've got these lovely bits of ash inside which will just pour out. But they're lovely and fired, and they're looking really, really successful actually. So there we go. So I'm really pleased with that result, and we've got 4 little test pieces here. So the next thing to do, of course, is to come up with a way to glaze them and colour them and make them look really spectacular. Now that will come in the next video. So that is it for this video, and I really hope you enjoyed today's video. I really hope you're as pleased with the results as I am, and I've really enjoyed this experiment. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe and share for more videos like this, and I'll see you next time where we will be glazing these test pieces and putting a bit of colour on them.